Hello people YouTube, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to some more of the Golf Club 2019 featuring the PGA Tour. So, I thought I'd do a little video. Actually, let's get it going. I'm just going to play a little bit of chat and golf basically. I'm going to play Faxon Park. I've not played it. I started playing a couple of holes just to kind of see, just to get my eye in. So let's actually just create match. We'll play from the black tees. So let's begin the round. So I'm basically, I kind of want to get back to basics.
My name's John,
and I want to start playing golf
Club 2019
better. I think
Tour.
I think Season 5 and TGC Tours, I think I was a little bit lackluster at the end.
Let's get down to that first tee right now.
I actually did win a tournament and I got promoted from C to B. But disappointingly, I played poor. I played poor when I got promoted, and to be honest, you know, I should have stabilised in that league. I should have stayed in B. But I ended up picking up demotion strikes, and I actually ended up getting demoted. So, really disappointed, to be honest. So this is Faxon Park. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play. This cat's taking an absolute flippy. Probably actually go over this part. Ooh. I'll tell you one thing, it's tight, but we should make that. It's time to get the big boy pants on. If that bounces out a little bit, it could be good. So, yeah, I've not played this course in a long time, so it'll be interesting to see just how we approach it with a bit more experience under our belts.
And we have about,
but yeah, TGC Tours, I just, after I got promoted, you know, you've got the highs and the joys, and then, yeah, I played a bit scrappy here and there, and I got myself into a bit of a pickle. And ended up getting demoted, basically. Really nobody else but myself to blame, basically. Could probably squeeze this club up a little bit, I think. Just going to cut over a little bit with that slope and the wind, so let's go. I don't really think I need to change my game. I think the basics are good. I just feel sometimes I maybe let myself down. Sometimes I get out. I maybe hit a bad shot. Maybe it's bad judgment. And then I've got like the pitch or the flop shot to the green, and then I play that bad, and then I leave myself a long putt for par and I miss. And it just kind of snowballs sometimes. Green speeds are really slow. I'm not a big lover of slow greens. Just misses. Wasn't far away, but yeah, slow greens are.
This next putt for par.
They just take all the kind of break out of the putt.
Decent little putt there.
So we'll start off with a putt. But yeah, I just want to get back to basics.
And
I just want to.
First hole of this
I've kind of thought about this before when I was playing TGC Tours this season, and I would sometimes maybe think to myself, you know what, I'm not playing the potential that I should be.
Coming off a par,
and you kind of sort of look at it from a distance and you go, right, what's going on? Why am I playing so poor? And to be honest, there's a couple of things. You know, I think the capabilities there. I just need to stop all these really loose holes that I have. Right, 224. It's 19 down. 218. It's probably 210 to the pin. Probably the 194 should be good, I think. It looks. What I might actually do is I might just draw it in a little bit more. Maybe go for something like that. Oh, that's looking good actually. Bounce and go. Bounce and roll. Yeah, bit shy. Maybe could have de-lofted just a touch.
Very nice. Looks like a 24-footer from here.
But a lot of my game, I do like a step routine. In fact, next hole I'll probably go over it. It's 30. That's a 30 putt in my eye. So, a little bit of break. It might not break as much with the slow greens because we're going to have to hit it quite hard. Not bad. Semi-decent distance in the putt.
Alright, but a 3-footer here. And a decent little putt to end this
So
one.
2 pars to start with.
And that's going to keep you at even par.
So my shot
Okay,
routine
third hole
is quite
coming up.
basic. I do the... Well, I'll probably do it in the approach. The drive, well, you're obviously looking at the wind there. I mean, we could probably aim this here. It's probably going to come back a little bit. We'll go with the driver. Because we aren't accurate enough with the driver.
And the tee shot's looking decent.
So we can put that right down the neck of that fairway. And that's probably going to give us a little flop shot to the green. Maybe not the best hole to do the approach. 24. 6 foot up, so it's playing 26. Uphill Y. This flop shot should be actually pretty good, I think. Probably just going to hit it full. Maybe a bit too much. Nothing worse than doing that shot and leaving it short. Right, what have we got here? 3 inches down, so it's like a 10 foot putt. Depending on the speed of the greens, I might change my power a little bit. With fast greens, you need to take sometimes a little bit more off your calculation. So this is going to break a little bit. I think maybe just right edge. These greens are so I'm going to have to give it a little bit of a hit.
Ooh,
Oh, just
close.
didn't. Right edge putt, but it really didn't turn at all. I could probably hit
Okay,
it
this one
almost
for
straight.
par. Nice putt.
And that's a hole that really, to be honest,
All right,
that
one's
should have been a
gonna keep
birdie.
you right there at even par.
That should have been a birdie all day. You've only got a flop shot in. Flop shot was maybe a little bit.
Okay, let's tee up another one. We got hole number 4.
It was a little bit too long. 397. Quite an interesting shot. So here I'm looking at whether I need to hit a driver. Because don't forget, sometimes off the tee, a lot of people will automatically hit a driver. And you don't always need to hit a driver. Sometimes it's actually beneficial to hit like an iron or even your 2-wood, 3-wood, whatever you've got in the bag. I'm going to hit my driver here, and I'm actually going to aim just in this part. It should come back a little bit off that breeze.
Nice drive.
So that's going to be probably position 8. And that should leave us, I think, about 90 yards. Give or take out a little bit.
Okay, so we have about 115 yards.
Okay, 115.
Thereabouts to the pin.
115 is still a good number. Just 2 foot up. The wind's coming straight across. So that's not going to affect the ball as much. It's a pretty. Oh, it's absolutely like snooker table Y. It's really nice and flat. Right, let's get the wind set up here. I think roughly about there. Right, 114. We're going to have to choke down this club just a touch. Just a little bit. This is a scoring club, so this really should be bucket lid material. It should be within a bucket lid of that hole. It's actually going to be a little bit short, perhaps. Actually, quite a poor shot. If I'm going to be brutally honest, that should have been a lot closer. That should have been I mean, almost like a tap in. So we're 14 foot away. You don't really want to be inside 10 foot with those kind of shots from that distance, and that lie was just perfect. Right, this break. These greens I'm not 100% sure on. No, we didn't hit that. Didn't hit that hard enough, so it didn't hold its line.
All right, nice little 2-foot putt.
Bit of an edgy start.
And after that hole, you'll stay there at even par.
I mean, 4 holes of golf, level part. I mean, it's not the best, but we've got time to pick up here.
Keep an eye on that wind. Could come into play on this hole.
And a lot of times with course management, you can get a bit frustrated early on, especially when you've had 4 pars. And a lot of the time, you can maybe try and press it a bit too much. Really, all you need to do is just keep playing the way you're playing and just plugging away. I know it's corny and I know it's like, you know, that's what everybody says, but you know, you get frustrated.
Just sheer
that's
terror
very
coming off the club
fast.
face there. Powerful drive.
We're probably going to get away with that because it is quite a big fairway. That was not a good shot. That in a tough course would have been probably punished quite severe. That was a little snap hook. 279. The wind's behind. Okay. We're probably going to leave a long putt. If we go with the 2-wood, I think we're going to leave a long putt. Course management, you could play it short. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to put a little bit of draw in it. Just to hold it into that wind a little bit. If this runs, it could be decent. The greens are slow though, so it's probably not going to get there. It's not a bad shot. It's going to leave us a fairly long putt uphill probably.
All right, this next putt drops and you'll get your eagle.
I'll tell you one thing, this is actually worse than it looks. Okay, it goes that way, but it cuts back at the end there. There's a big hump in the middle. 55 and it's 23, so that is going to be 58, 68, 78. I'm probably going to have to give this a bit of welly. I'm just going to do a little visualisation where I need to be. Oh, that's going to be woefully short. Yeah, greens.
And this putt for the birdie.
Slow greens in this game are tough, especially when you're constantly playing above 140, 150. Yeah, I thought that one short as well. I think, I'll be honest with you, this is maybe not the best
nice
course to play, especially if I'd made the greens faster, I'd probably be a lot happier.
Well done.
But slow greens are not my favourite.
Keep you right at even par.
And I'm actually not making that as an excuse. I just do not putt well on slow greens.
Coming off a par on the last one. Let's see what happens here.
Because I'm dialed in for 150 and above greens. I know it's not that much different, but it is. You've got to hit the putt harder, basically. Right, 4 foot down, so that's basically 178. It's probably playing 177. 172 could be good. Maybe just a little bit of. I'm going to put a little bit of waft on it. I say the greens are just that little bit slower.
Ooh, it looks like you're going to be putting.
Oh, it could be good if it just sits. Yeah, it's a good shot. Rolls on a little bit, but it's in that puttable distance.
All right, solid approach shot. We can 2-putt from here. 9-footer here. I think you can do this.
Well, if these greens were any decent, I'd probably be quite confident. But the slow greens, just because you've got to put the ball harder, and when you're putting it harder, it takes that line out.
Yes.
Got it. I was kind of worried that that putt would
Okay,
maybe
that'll
not
bring you
break
down
as much.
to 1 under.
So we finally get to 1 under par. Edgy start.
Okay, this
I'm
is
blaming
hole
the
number
slow
7
greens,
on
to
the
be
tee.
honest.
Let's do this.
So yeah, the shot routine that I've got is the same. I'm going to bend this actually. A lot of people don't really put like draw and fade in the ball, but I do it all the time. So for this shot, if I let's just reset. Basically, what I want to do here is, I don't want to hit it straight. I want to get it turning around that corner. So I've got to account for the wind, which is 7 miles per hour blowing from the left. So that's going to account for the wind. And then I'm going to add another couple of nudges just to get it really drawn around that corner. And this should be fine and dandy. Oh well, of course I hit it very fast. Which hooks it even more. But if I'd probably hit that normal, I'd probably been fine. That's 2 snap hooks I've had. And this is actually quite a difficult par 4. It's quite long. What have we got? 218. So we are 7 foot down. Wind's in our face. So everyone's 220. Percentage though. I'm going to have to hit the 1 iron. I don't know. I don't even think this is maybe going to be the club, if I'm honest. Just want to really knock this down to the front edge of the green. Missed the bunker, which is quite good. Thought it'd have been a
Okay,
bit
back
further
on
up
the
than
fairway.
that, but...
Let's see about hitting this green, huh?
Huh? Right, flop shot. Now, this is downhill, so it's going to go a little bit further. I think I may have to hit just not a full shot in this. Maybe just shy. Oh, fuck that, too shy. That's a loose shot.
Okay, this one to save par.
That is a loose shot. That's the kind of shot that's been killing me. But then, I mean, how do I rectify that? Well, you know, maybe I get too cute with it, too fancy. Put a little bit of brake on it. Just bolted that till I got my number right. Oh, I haven't hit that. Didn't really get the slope. The actual the distance
Right,
was,
nice
was
little
quite
2-foot
neat,
putt.
but bit of a scrappy start.
That'll bring you up to even par after that one.
Get a birdie, what happens? End up with a bogey.
And
I think
find ourselves
if I was to
on
restart
the
this round, I would
tee.
start with faster greens. Yeah, I'll just let this fly. I'll come back a little.
This one's looking pretty good.
It's going to give us a little bit of a downhill lie, which could help us out. It's a par 5. 279. It might give us a little bit more run in this ball. I'm hoping it does. Maybe put a little bit of fade on it just to hold it into that wind.
Looks like this is heading for the rough.
Yeah, that wasn't really... I thought I might have been further up. That's one of those shots that maybe thinking about it I probably wouldn't have hit the green anyway, so probably laying up in the fairway would have been the better move, and it would have left me a flop to the pin. I've still got a flop shot, but I'm in the rough, so it kind of changes it just a little bit. I'm gonna hope this wins a little bit. And it's gonna run too far. Didn't think I would get as much
And this putt for
much
the
height
birdie.
in that ball. Oh, back to these soul greens.
Perfect.
Boom! That's better.
Okay, 1 under for the round.
So that's us got that birdie back. So we're back to 1 under par. Not the greatest
Nice
front
bird on
nine.
that last hole. Let's see another one.
Just some semi-difficult holes here. In fact, you know what? I'm going to play this different. I was going to play it straight over that bunker. I'm going to play it here, but I'm going to play it with a touch of draw.
Look at that thing fly.
I'll just get the ball
Just
turning. It's
screaming.
not turning as much as I wanted. Maybe could have put a bit more draw on it. That's nasty. Probably
Hey,
actually
you're
would have been
kinda
better just
in
hitting it
some deep
straight,
stuff.
if I'm
This
honest.
is the danger zone.
Okay, 85. Percentage wise, 94. It's actually looking, it's downhill as well. I'm actually going to put a little bit of loft on it, because I think it's going to fly a bit further. Go! Roll! Yeah. First round of the day.
Okay, 21 feet to the cup.
I mean,
from
for
here.
me, I could almost take these 9 holes and just bin them, because always the first round of the day for me is always pretty bad. I tend to play quite scrappy the first half. Good putt.
That was absolutely
Solid putt.
fine putting.
So
Very solid
birdie,
round after 9.
bogey,
Looking
birdie, birdie
fantastic.
for the back 9. We're 2 under par. So let's go into the back 9. Let's try and
Nice solid birdie on that last hole.
Let's try and have a
Got
solid
another
back
birdie in
9.
the works here.
So yeah, I really do want to focus on TGC tours and my own pixelated golfers as well. It wasn't I wasn't enjoying my golf. I don't know. I just wasn't really as focused. It's a better drive.
I think this looks pretty safe.
Perfect, and that should be a decent Y. Probably gonna go to
All right,
140.
we're right around 125 yards out.
126. Right, 6 up. 6 feet. It's 18 foot. So you split that with your 3 equals a yard. So we're 6 yards onto our number there. So we're 132. Probably have to play the 136. Probably have to loft this up a little. Again, that's all feel. I don't have an exact mathematical number as to how much I elevated that. For me, it's just like a feel thing. Let's accommodate for the wind. It's not turning. Bit long, so we could have went with more loft,
Sweet.
but it just didn't turn in that wind as much. I'm probably going to putt this. I think putt is probably the best, because we're just off the green, not by much. So the way I putt slightly, well, I say I putt different. I know people that do a counting system, and you count like 1, 2, 3, and then you hit a certain number. I have tried that method. It doesn't work for me because I've never really used that, but I think it would work. So I usually visualise I've got 18 foot, it's 6 inches down, but I'm coming from a slight bit of fringe, so that's going to account for a little bit. So that's like 12, that's like a 12 foot putt. But that being said, it's so green, so that goes out the window a little bit. But I've basically got like a number, and the reason I use this putter is because if you look there, the back foot putt The back foot putt is, I probably need to redo my numbers on this, but I think it's roughly about 20 foot. Now I could be totally wrong. That's like a very basic number. But I know that if I putt from there, in fact, the back foot putt in this instance is probably the right distance. But I use this putter because I've got different numbers. The next number that I go to is like a 40-ish, 40 to 45 foot putt. And that's when the blue bit disappears in the back of the putter. Just there. 40. 40. And I mean, I actually probably need to just double check that on the practice putting green. But I'm almost sure that's what it is. And then basically all you're doing is adding numbers onto that. So if a 10 foot putt would be like there, 20, 30, 40, 60, and that's basically how you do it. Again, it's not like exact numbers. So this putt, for instance, a little bit of break on it. So what I do is I usually read the break. I usually eyeball to the hole and come back, and then maybe go back up, and I'm just moving. It's almost, when I check the putt, so I'm basically right on the hole there. So I look and say, right, there's a little bit, it's breaking from the right, so I'll go a nudge, and the next one, right, next one, right, next one, right, next one, right. So I'm basically there. Now, is that the right distance? Well, I might go just another little bit. So I'm going to go there. And I'm going to hit this off the back foot because I think that's going to be roughly about the right distance. Probably a bit firm. Didn't give enough break, but it was ballpark
4
figure.
feet
It
to
was
the hole. You
close.
can do this.
Maybe a little bit firm. But that's how I measure the putting distance, the power I'm going to put
Sitting
in.
at 2 under for the round.
And you're only, if it's like the back foot putt's 20 and it's a 10 foot putt, then you're just halving the distance between your start point and your back foot. And that's how I do it. That's one of the reasons why I've used that putter for a while now, because it's a good gauge of that sort of 40-45 distance putt, which is pretty good. And then you're just adding bits onto it or taking bits off, whatever the case may be. But a lot of people do get really technical with the putts. The count method is actually quite good. I've tried it and it does work, but because I'm not accustomed to it, it's kind of alien to me, and I can see where it works, but then I'm not like fully in that zone. So this is a classic example. If we hit this 2-wood, 253, so we're probably going to be probably 50-60 yards. Now that's outside the flop zone, although the 42 you could squeeze the flop. For this I'm going to hit and try and get like a 94 100 yard shot, so would I need to be 214. I think that's going to be perfect. And it just shows that you don't always have to hit your longest club in the bag. You know, sometimes you don't want to be in that 60 yards, 50, 60, 70 yard range. You're far better to be like 90, 94 yards. So we're 92 yards. We're almost like perfect. Because the pitch in this version of the game, I don't think it's as OP as it was in the Golf Club 2. In the Golf Club 2, it was actually really quite, I think you had a lot more control. It seems to be that the ball has a tendency to run a little bit, whereas I prefer playing a full shot. So we're 92 yards, we're 4 up, so that's like 93 yards. This is almost like, oh, the Y's perfect, squeezing over a little bit into that wind, so we probably really don't need to be as much over. I think about there. Might even just put a tiny bit of waft, just a tiny bit. This should be... Oh, this really should be close. Numbers are good.
Looks like you'll be putting.
Yep, absolutely bang on. That's what that should be from there.
And here we go for the birdie.
So that's basically course management. That's taking a club that you could hit and maybe got like a 50-60 yard shot. For me, that's not good. Because I could squeeze the flop shot, maybe de-loft it a bit, try and get a bit more run on it, and it probably would have been a decent shot to play. But I just prefer playing the full shot. You get more control out of it.
And a decent little putt to end this one.
So that's
Brought
course
things down
management
to 3 under after that
101.
one.
Okay, onward and
Par 3
upward.
here. Let's go for that pin.
Because it's amazing how many people just say, "Oh, let's just hit the 2-wood and get it as close to the pin." But sometimes, if it leaves you like a number that's not in for me, my personal preference is maybe the flop shot. If it's out with that number, then I just club down and go for the full shot into the pin. Right, 8. So that is going to be 176 to the pin. I could play this, just accommodate for the wind there. Probably play it with a little bit of loft. In fact, I might even loft it up a bit there. Get the shot going. Shot's pretty good. Numbers are good. It's drifting a little bit to the right. It does bounce back a little bit. Sets up a decent
Good
birdie
stuff.
attempt.
Okay, here's your putt for birdie.
Okay, there's a little bit of break on it. Is it going to break as much? 15. I'm probably going to hit this like 20 in my number, which is a back foot putt. Oh,
Right
just
by.
missed. Just didn't give it
Alright,
enough
drop
break.
this par putt. Let's do it.
But the number was good.
Nice putt. 3 under for the round.
3 under's not that good. I mean, it's a course that we probably really should be
Par
getting
4
at
here. Let's have a
quite
nice
a low number.
clean drive.
We've still got a couple holes to play, so. Right, so this is 379 to the pin. The wind's in our face. There's no way we could drive it. There's no way. If we hit that, I think that's going to give me 140 to the pin. I quite like the idea of squeezing this 2-wood up, but I'm gonna hit a partial slope. Right, I hit perfect because I think that's gonna be too much. Yeah, I wanted to hit a slope.
Unlucky.
I
Unlucky.
almost got it. It was not far off. So we've left ourselves a shot in the... Oh, mind you, it's light rough. The numbers are pretty good. Probably been better hitting the iron there, to be honest. 129. So it's playing 131 with that elevation slightly. Wind, probably near a 141. Probably squeeze this down. This should be hopefully decent. Come on, be good. Bit short. Yeah. But again, it's not the
Okay, we're
worst
about
shot.
17
It's not the
feet out here.
best. Even from that rough, we should have really got that course. So again, it's 18. So I'm thinking just slightly over the back foot. Boom.
Nice
Get
job
in there.
dropping it for the bird.
So that's a
Bringing
birdie.
things down to 4
It was a
under
poor
after that
approach
one.
shot. We should have been closer, but we make up with a decent birdie putt.
Okay, Par 5.
If I remember right, this is actually quite an interesting hole. So probably one thing I would notice is this, I think it slopes down here. So I'm more inclined to play a shot from here and put a little bit of draw. That's going to take the wind out of the equation. But I actually want it to cut quite a bit more. Take us away from that water. Get the cutting shot. And when it lands, it's going to be like going against the hill. It's eventually going to run down the hill, but you don't get that. If you slice that, you can imagine that ball slicing, hitting the hill, getting a really big bounce, and just continuing down to the water. This is an interesting shot. The numbers are actually pretty good for this club. There is a little bit of risk, but it's not as devastating. The slope is going to take it a little bit. The wind's going to take it. I'm actually going to play this. I'm going to play the slope, which I think is going to put it a bit here. And I'm actually going to hit a little bit of a draw, just to hold it up in that wind. There we go. That should be good. Oh, that could be really good if it gets a good bounce. So basically what I did there, I didn't want to have it sliding too much with the wind and the slope. So what I did was I accommodated for the slope, and then accommodated a draw to negate the wind. So it just kept it straight. Good putt here for an eagle. A little bit of break, but it's not a huge amount. Again, 16, so I think it's a back foot putt. That's my distance gauge.
Good.
Oh, just missed. Again, didn't really read the break, but ballpark, it was there.
Alright, nice little 2-foot putt.
Basically, it's an easy
Well
birdie
done.
putt.
That hole bring things down to 5 under for you.
4 holes to go. Par 4 coming up,
15th hole
481
coming
yards. Stroke index is 3, so it's not the easiest holes. I can remember this hole actually. This is another hole that you probably really do have to make like a cut shot. There's a lot of people don't play cut shots. My plan here is I'm going to play I'm going to put some height in it, use that wind, and I'm going to cut this over. This is going to be a big hook and draw. I'll cut over that corner. It's got enough height to carry that tree. The wind's going to give us a couple extra yards. Absolutely perfect. And if you played that without the hitting it high and also hitting the draw,
30 yards out.
you'd probably be hitting like an iron or even like a 3-wood or something. But that leaves us a perfect number. Good Y here. So what we got? 128, 7 up. Probably playing near 130. So we're in between clubs here. We could hit the 136 and put loft. I actually prefer squeezing down the gap wedge. So let's accommodate the wind here. Probably squeeze it down quite a bit. I'm going to go about there. It's a rough guesstimate. I feel it's the right distance. Drifting a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit long actually. No, it wasn't too bad.
Nice.
Did drift a little bit. We didn't
here
really
we
get
go,
slope
this one for birdie.
on the wind there. But again, the putts fairly easy. There's not a lot in this. Maybe just inside right edge. So it's 5 inches down. So that's like a 10-foot putt. But with these greens, I'm probably going to put a little bit more on it. I'm probably going to go to maybe. So let's do a practice putt. So I'm probably going to go to about there. Not back foot, but just probably inside it.
That was
Bit firm, but it went in. Maybe a bit strong there.
6 under for the round.
Alright, moving along nicely.
Okay, let's see what happens.
I mean,
here
to be
on
honest,
this
probably the
par
second
4.
half of this
Let's go
9
ahead and drop
holes is
this
probably
one
the
into
better,
fairway and take it from there.
sort of course management strategy, how I'm playing the course, than the first half. First half, I just wasn't really. I missed a couple of putts. 317. Wind's not in our favour. Again, you could play the driver up there. I think. What's that going to be? It probably is going to be within a flop shot. Let me see. 5. Wait, is there any numbers we've got? So that's 288 to that bit there, just below the bunker. So what I'm going to play this different. I would probably play the driver, and I'd probably hit it in here and have a flop shot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it slightly different. I'm actually going to play. I want to try and get again like a 94-yard shot. So what we got? 317. So I need to hit something in the region of 217. I'm going to hit this, but I'm going to hit it out here a little bit. Doesn't have to be bang on 94. It can be like 90, even 86. 85, I think, is like a fully lofted lob wedge.
Nice.
93. Perfect. So we've got 12, so that's 4. That's 97. Y's perfect. Wind. Let's get the wind here. Should just be outside the circle. Okay, so what we want to do with this is just squeeze it just a tiny, tiny bit. Maybe go a bit there. Again, this should be bucket lid within the hole.
I think this one's going for it.
Oh, bang on. So, it'd be quite good if you could play another shot and play the driver and flop shot, just to see where... I've always felt in this game that sticking to it, that 94-yard shot, plus or minus a couple of yards, is the way to go, because you get control, because your ball's basically landing and just stopping. So
7 under for the round.
It's almost like putting a dart into a dartboard. But if you use like the pitch shot, I mean, there's a lot of people play the pitch and it's quite effective, but I don't like the control you get from the pitch. I feel it can tend to roll too much. I've always preferred to go for a full shot in that range. 90 yards to like 120, 130 yards is what I would call that kind of butter zone, that sort of attack zone. One, 3, 3, 2. So it's only slightly down. It's playing 1, 3, 2. The wind is helping slightly, so I think that's going to break that down. I'm going to go 1, 2, 2. I'm going to de-loft it. Probably going to go to a bit there. Again, this is all just... I mean, for me, there's no science to this. This is actually a dangerous hole. So hopefully this has got the legs on it. Yeah, pretty decent. Never get the alignment as good.
Very nice.
Distance control was pretty much bang on. But a very dangerous hole there. I mean, that, if you're short at all, it's dangerous. Put the pin in, it's hard to see the hole. So we have got a little bit of break on it. Again, I go through the lines and I'm guesstimating just how much to put on it. So I reckon we're going to be a bit there. And again, 16, pretty much a back foot putt. Didn't give enough break. Probably just didn't, maybe just didn't hit it as hard. They were just a little bit shy of the back foot there.
Well, you could have had.
So
a
once you
birdie
get
there.
your
I think you
your
know
putting
that, but,
power level,
next time,
once you get that
those
those
ones will drop.
back foot
Sitting at
45
7
mark,
under for the
you
round.
can basically extend it, shorten it, whatever the case may be. And it gives you a rough guideline where you need to be.
Okay, the 18th hole here.
18th.
Let's clear our heads. Got the
Oh,
clubhouse
drink of
coming
water
up
here.
after this. Just let it flow.
So par 4 to finish. Looks pretty straightforward. What do we think? I'll put some height on it. I'll try and squeeze a couple extra yards. The wind is helping.
You launched
It's
it.
not a huge amount. We do hit that fast, but that's actually going to be not too bad. It's a fairly decent sized fairway, so we get a couple extra yards out of that.
I'd say it looks like around 145 yards from the
145, it's not too bad. So what we got? 12 up. So we're adding 4 onto that, 149. The wind's going to basically bring that back. So the wind and the elevation just cancel each other out. So it's 145 to the pin. Probably I'm going to put a little bit of loft in this. Maybe go to about there. Again, this is all really subject to feel. You can do an exact science to how much loft it takes on and off the club. That bites a little. Pretty decent. It's going to give us a decent putt for a closing birdie. Again, I'm looking at the lines. There's very little movement. This is probably inside left. 9 foot, it's 2 down. It's a 10-foot putt. Maybe going to add a little bit of insurance because the green speed's quite slow. So I'm maybe going to go to about there. In fact, let's do a practice swing. Go to about there maybe.
Well, it has a chance.
There we
Nicely
go.
done. Dropping it for your birdie.
So
that's awesome.
That, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually a very stereotypical first round of the day for me.
That was a fun one. We'll see you next time.
If you put your hand up and cover the bottom half of my scorecard, 2 under par, it's not great. I mean, par, 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 birdie, bogey, birdie, birdie. You can see there the first 6 holes kind of struggled a little bit. And then really, once I get the warm in, the kind of, the old thumb control sticks were kind of warmed up. I started to play quite well. And then basically the inward 9 is, I wouldn't say it was perfect, but it's pretty decent, 6 under par. But I tend to play very poor in the first 9. My very first round of the day, I'm always a little bit rusty. Which is why I think sometimes I play my Pixelated Golfers rounds kind of bad. Because I tend to play that first, and it will be the first round of the day. I really need to break the habit and just play a course, play the first 6 to 9 holes, and then start playing my golf. So there we go. Not a bad score. 8 under par, 64 round facts and par. I don't think it's by any stretch of the imagination the best round that anybody's ever played on it. I think people played far better. I could probably play a lot better myself. But as I say, first round of the day, and I tend to struggle the first few holes. Can I see what the score? No, I can't really see. I just want to see what the actual course record was on there. But Facts and Park's actually a decent course. It's probably one that doesn't get played in any societies because I think it's one of the kind of original golf courses in the golf club. But a lot of people really don't play it. Let's check the round stats just to see what we had. Longest drive, 328 yards. Longest scoring putt, 21 feet, pretty decent. Fairways in regulation, 78.5. We did miss a couple. Fairways are quite large here, so we did miss a couple with some hooks. Greens in regulation, 88.89. That's pretty much bang on what it should be. Driving distance, average 301 yards. Proximity to the hole, 60.9 feet. Win putt percentage, 44%. Really, the rest of this is all just... And there you go. Putting accuracy short, is 100%, and that's putts less than 5 foot. Putts from 5 to 10 foot were 100%, which is good. Long, which is outside the 10 foot, 26%, which is pretty decent. 9 birdies, 8 pars, and that 1 bogey. And that is your round. So hopefully you enjoyed that today. I just thought I would do a little... It's basically chatting golf. I've put it as in the title. Just a little insight into how I play and my kind of thought process. But really, I really do want to start concentrating more on TGC tours. I just feel that I wasn't given 100%, although I was given 100%, but sometimes that 100% would maybe dip. And it's those moments where it dips where I really need to get ironed out. Because you really, I mean, potentially you could be shooting like a 12 under, 11 under par round of golf in TGC tours, which is where you need to be. And maybe that little dip in concentration, just something, maybe just a silly shot that I didn't really maybe spend much time thinking about, or maybe even just miss hitting a shot, can cost you. And shooting 7 under pars is good, it's a decent score, but it's not going to get you anywhere. So that's what I really need to eradicate from my game. I need to practice 6 to 9 holes before I start any golf. That is a definite must. Anyway folks, I hope you enjoyed that. I just wanted to get that out there, just a little chat, little theory behind the golf there. Anyway folks, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a really nice day. Take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.